In this session, we're going to have a look at how you edit the personal data held about each client in the CRMHaven client management system. So let's have a look at the personal information by editing and opening up a particular client. Let's open this one here by double clicking on it. It'll put all of the data in behind all of the tabs, and the third tab along here is personal. So let's have a look here. It's divided into a number of logical sections. The first one on the top left is to do with all the home information. You can put as much or as little data into these fields as you want. They're mainly used for searching purposes or for just personal contact for people. Even if somebody is a personal contact, you may want to put their details, their address details and things into the main details area. It's mainly if the person is a business contact and their business details are here, and you would want their personal home details separate as a second address. Okay, further down we have this option here of no contact or contact only and duplicate and hidden. This is where we can set that the person does or doesn't want particular types of contact or any contact at all. So we may, if for example the person doesn't want any contact at all, they don't mind if we keep the information on the system, but they just don't want to be contacted in any way at all, we can click on no contact, and that way the person won't show up under the normal viewing on CRMHaven, and so we'd need to turn on the no contacts for that person's details to show up in future. The same with the duplicate and hidden. If we find that this particular person is actually a duplicate of another record on the system, we can turn on duplicate. If the person, we just don't want them to show up in the normal list for any particular reason, we can turn on their hidden attribute, just so that they're there on the system, but for those particular reasons we don't want them to show up, just so we won't accidentally contact them in any way. Also down here we have the option to set the priority for the person. So we may have particular clients who are high priority. The range is from 0 all the way up to 100. You can set the person at whatever priority you would like them to be. Now, the next thing we have is these different pop-ups to do with only contact particular ways, and all of these pop-ups down the right hand side here. Now they're different from the normal pop-ups we saw in the address here, which already come preloaded with data. The reason is that these are items which you will need to specify one or more attributes for this particular person. So all of them by default are empty, and the way that we add information onto these pop-ups is by clicking the magnifying glass on the right hand side. So for example, if I click for the only contact magnifying glass, you'll see these items here. So the person may only want to be contacted via their client email. You can double click on them, or you can click highlight them, or a range of items. So if I grab a few and click on the right hand arrow, or if I want to take those items off, there we go, I can take those items off that way. As soon as I click OK, it will now add those items to the pop-up list. So the person can have none, one or more items in any of these attributes. Now the forms of contact here, the list there, that's already preset in the system, but all of these other items is available and can be edited in the group settings. So if you go under Windows down Database and set the group, you can see the samples. These will automatically have the sample data built in, but you can go in and edit the sample data or get rid of it and all of these items entirely, and choose your own attributes if you want to. Okay, so again, the same way that we do it, we can come down here, choose the type. If this is a particular, it's an individual that you have. They may their category may be that they're it's a friend of yours as opposed to a work contact. You may want to specify what industry they work in. You may have different memberships that they may be a silver or a gold or platinum type member. It may be that they're a member of the press. That's entirely up to you. Again, you can see you can have multiple ones showing up there. You may want to specify who's the owner of this contact if there are certain people who contact them. So it's just got some sample names in here or departments. You can go in and change those around from the defaults so that your particular names and others show up under the list there. So that's how the personal details can be added to a particular contact. If instead you wanted to add that most of this personal type information to a range of contacts, if you had a whole group of them that you wanted to change in one hit rather than doing them all individually, then under the options menu is the clean clients option. So what you would do is you would mark, or at least have visible, if you wanted to only change those that are marked, choose marked. If you wanted to have all of those that are currently visible in the list, all 14, choose current. If you wanted to do every client on the system, all 600 plus clients, you could choose all clients there. I'll just leave it as the default marked. So what you could do, the same items down here, category, you could the same information comes up here. So if all of the people were your friends or your family, you can specify that as the only attribute. You can add it to the existing attributes, or you can actually remove that. If you wanted to take them away as being a friend, it'll leave the other attributes and just take away that one. Okay, so that is how we would change those personal changes en masse to potentially hundreds of contacts all in one go. And we've also seen how to edit one individually under the personal tab. So that's how we change the client's personal details under CRMHaven. I hope you find that useful. Thank you and goodbye.